Appraisal, Section 1, Approaches and Methodology. An appraisal is an unbiased or objective opinion of value, or the most likely price that a probable buyer will pay for a property in an open market sale. In an open market sale, the buyer doesn't have to buy, the seller doesn't have to sell, and both are competent parties. The three approaches to appraising are the market data approach, income approach, and cost approach. Market data approach, which is also known as the comparison approach, is the process of estimating the value of property through the examination and comparison of actual sales of comparable properties. This approach is best used to find values of houses and vacant lots. When comparing two properties, you need to deduct for features of the comparable. For example, if one property has a pool and the other does not, you need to account for the value of the pool. This is the most difficult aspect of this approach. Adjustments are necessary because while some properties are similar, two properties are rarely similar in every way. This approach utilizes entire property as the unit of comparison. The basis of the market data approach is the principle of substitution. Market data is usually used to establish rent schedules. How much should you charge somebody for rent? Just ask the tenants next door how much they are paying. Market data becomes less reliable during times of rapid economic change or instability, or in an inactive market simply because there is nothing to compare it to. The capitalization or income approach converts income into value. A property that can prove to bring in more income will increase the value. The capitalization approach would be most appropriate for a shopping center. The hardest part of the capitalization approach is determining the capitalization rate, or cap rate. Methods used to determine the cap rate are the market comparison method, the band of investment method, or the summation method. The cap rate is directly related to risk. A post office building would have a lower capitalization rate because it is a lower risk, as compared to a hardware store, which would have a high cap rate because it is a higher risk. The cost or replacement approach is the process of estimating the value of a property by adding to the estimated land value the appraiser's estimate of the replacement cost of the building, less depreciation. Basically, how much would it cost for a brand new replacement? This is most commonly used to appraise special purpose properties such as libraries, schools, and police stations. The cost approach sets the upper limits of value. This approach is most appropriate for the appraisal of new property, not old. Because if you had to appraise a property from 1910, you would be using the current cost of reproduction, the cost it took to build it in 1910 would not be a factor. The replacement cost of improvements is the cost to replace an improvement with another improvement having the same utility. The methods for estimating the cost of construction are unit in place method, which calculates the added cost of single units installed, square footage method, which utilizes exterior dimensions to calculate the cost per square foot, and quantity survey method, which calculates the cost of labor and materials to construct each component of a building. This is very accurate but time-consuming. Gross rent multipliers, or GRM, are found by dividing the price of the property by its rent. $100,000 property divided by $10,000 annually in rent would give you an annual GRM of 10. $100,000 property divided by $1,000 monthly in rent would give you a monthly GRM of 100. If you are given a monthly rent amount and an annual GRM, then multiply that monthly number by 12 because you always want to use annual figures when possible. This concludes the section on appraisal, Part 1.